Yeah, let's talk about this double camping thing before I let you go, because this is a good content angle. I haven't actually seen this, but
basically they fucked up. Like they moved the leash ranges, right? But then they raised it back out in 12.23 because it was just too small, right? I'm pretty sure most gamers agree if it was fucking tiny, it felt like you can't move at all. You take like 2 steps and you're like stuck there. So they extended the ranges back out, but they extended it too far. So now double camping is back, which I really think is not intentional on their part. You can't do blue gromp. You still can't do blue gromp, but you can easily do red raptors, especially on red team. And then the other problem is, this is not new. Okay, you could do this before, but it was super unreliable. You can actually double camp red Krugs now, which it's not like a full double camp. You can't actually aggro the red, but what you do is you just let the pet hit it, because the pet hits in an AoE.
Yeah.
So I had a control ward here to just show it, but you don't actually need vision on the camp. It works in Fog of War too. So what happens is like you can pull further to the edge of the wall. And again, you could do this before, but it was very unreliable because you couldn't pull far without risking resetting the red. But now you can see like...
Yeah, I noticed this too the other day, this on this wall. Yeah, I noticed this too.
Yeah. This is actually super, super relevant on a lot of champs, because this is exactly where the champs that have wall hops stand anyways, right? If you're Graves or you're Nidalee or you're Diana, you kite to the edge of the wall anyways because you're going to hop over after red. So you kind of just get some free damage onto the Krugs. It's just really bizarre. Because the pet damage won't reset it. Only your damage would actually like aggro the butt.
Yeah, this won't stand though. They have to... I don't know what they'll do, but they have to figure out a way to...
Yeah, it's just kind of funny. I think it'll be here for like this patch, and there's no way it makes it past preseason.
The fiddle players are gonna pop off, dude. That's basically...
Whoa. There's like Zach is back down to like he's faster than before now. He's like a 3-minute clear flat, something like that.
Dude, Zach, I've been bitchy about Zach on my videos. You know who's beaten my Tryndamere mid the most? No, I should say the hardest.
Zach?
Mid? Dude, I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. Dude, it's not even a gimmick. You can ask my chat. If I play Tryndamere mid, there's a good chance that somebody out there plays Zach mid. And it's happened so frequently. I wish I could pull the VODs. I actually get to a point where I'm considering if I see it, I should just dodge it. It's so annoying.
I've seen it before. It's just that I rarely see it mid. I see quite a bit of top Zach.
Dude, it's like a good answer. It's like a really good answer to Tryndamere mid. Like it's like I was getting solo killed by it. I didn't know what to do. The problem with it, in my opinion, is that I think in top lane, Zach isn't that good. Although I got beat by it in top lane the other day too, to be honest. It's just been NEACE getting his ass beat while I'm like calibrating or whatever.
Bro, so there's like multiple Zach and Skarner top like OTPs and like Korean Grandmasters and Challenger.
No, they're legit too. And they're hard to beat. And it's really hard for Tryndamere to beat. And I think the reason why in mid it's hard to beat, because if you try to play aggro into him, right, the gank setup is monstrous for Zach. So like you go to hit a minion, he harasses you with blobs, which are getting buffed for some fucking reason. I don't know if you caught that. I don't know why they're buffing Zach, but or he just got buffed.
Yeah, it's just because he was a little bit weak in the jungle. I don't think he was weak, but he was a little bit weak because he doesn't have like a Sunfire.
Weak my anymore. Ass, dude. Weak my ass. This guy is destroying me, dude. So basically you go to hit the minion, he blobs you every time you go to hit the minion, right? So there's like this weird spacing game that's happening every time you auto fucking minion as Tryndamere. Then if he grabs a minion, it's the most bullshit fucking mechanic. There's nothing you can do. If he grabs a minion and you're in gank range, he'll flash. He'll just flash into it.
He is. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, he'll flash into it. And if you flash and then you have to dodge him, but by then you've already fucked up. And if you spin during this all in, you're definitely dead.
Oh, yeah,
right?
You're 100% dead.
If you dare spin. It's really tough. Like I straight, like I've played Tryndamere for a long time. So like, I feel like I had a handle on most of the matchups, and I don't recall Zach ever being that problematic for me. But every time these guys have pulled it out in front of me, it's just been like, dude, you can't do anything versus this shit. This is like the worst. So I was like, if I see a Zach again, it's Tryndamere, I'll just fucking dodge. I'll try to lane swap, like get this fucking guy away from me, dude. Like, I don't want anything to do with this fucking booger man. He's the worst fucking champion.
Sounds not bad because you can absolutely just go top or mid as Trin. So
yeah, you can normally negotiate lane swaps and Korea as well. I give these guys a lot of shit, and I've been bitching about them a lot. But I think that the thing that sets them apart and why it's undeniable that this server is the hardest server is because the early game is so hard to beat them. Like, whether it's laning, whether it's jungling, whether it's so hard. Like, when I think of NA, when I think of even EU, when I think of just like other regions in general, you can pretty reliably get fed. Like, that's going to piss a lot of people off when I say that, but like, it's just true, man. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, you go into lane, like I could take Tryndamere with all my experience. I could go into lane. Odds are I'm going to solo kill somebody. Like, it's just what it is. I'm going to solo kill them. I'm going to run the game over off of a solo kill or something. Jungle, same thing. You just clear faster than everybody. Odds are you were ahead of somebody last season. These guys, no. Like, even in like Diamond, like they will not. They don't give you shit for free. You have to earn it. The laning, you have to earn it. The early game fighting, skirmishing, you have to earn it. You're not just going to like, you're not going to wow them with like a flash play. Does that make sense? It's not, they won't give it to you. I don't know. It's a very strange adjustment to make, but it's been fun because I see my gap in my game. My gap in my game has just been mostly just early game skirmishing. It's not as good as I thought it was, and it's getting cleaned up. But like, there's no denying that these guys are like, they make you rethink things about laning. You know what I mean? You like rethink it. You're like, oh, I thought I could just do this and win. No.
Nope.
No, you can't. You thought you could, but what if your opponent actually just knows how to space? Like, he just doesn't. The classic example would be what is it? The Aurelia matchup. I get these Aurelia matchups here, Phil, where every time I face them, Aurelia's an easy matchup for Tryndamere, right? Like, theoretically, it's easy. But what if your opponents, they use that auto attack range on Aurelia? She outranges your auto attacks. I don't know if you know that. What if she spaces properly?
Give me like just a second. I gotta answer my phone though.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, I'm back. But yeah, I know what you mean.
They space you with the auto attack range as Aurelia, and so a lot of those fights in the early game, which historically have been really easy for me, they're not. They're hard. It's like you could very easily screw the spacing up.
Trynda's 125, right?
Right.
He has like a tiny fucking puny range. Why? I've never understood. He has a fucking weapon. He has a gigantic sword.
I've bitched about this. The amount of matchups that I wouldn't have lost if I could auto at the proper range, which is, I mean, there's a reason why I'm fucking with other champions other than Tryndamere in mid, because it's just not reliable. It's not reliable. You can definitely play it into stuff, right? But if these guys bust out like Boogerman mid or fucking Ari or I mean, Ari's the one it's like Ari and Zach are like destroying me on Tryndamere mid. And then maybe like the occasional like Cassiopeia is pretty tough to beat. Victor even here. Victor here, it gives me a hard time. NA, never had a problem with Victor. I could just dive them at some point. These guys will never let you dive them. Like, not easily anyways. Like, it's not gonna be a free. You're not gonna just press ghost and like they're gonna place their cage badly and not manage it, right? They're gonna space the whole time through, and there's a good chance you fuck it up. So it's been an adjustment, my friend. When are you gonna come down here? You gotta play on this shit. You gotta come play on this shit, dude. It's fun. It is fun. I enjoy it.
Probably not anytime soon, but it does sound kind of fun. I'm staying the fuck away from laning if I'm going to Korea. I'm sitting in the jungle.
I'm having fun. No, dude, I'm telling you, you're not wrong. It's hard, but it is clicking. It is clicking. There's little there's the micro adjustments of laning. You're completely right when you say like it is hard. It is very, very tough. And I didn't think of myself as like an amazing laner, but I certainly didn't think of myself as just like a pushover laner, right? And I feel like there's been a lot of these situations on Tryndamere where it's like, I know I've played Tryndamere more than this guy has played this, but his laning fundamentals are beating me right now. Like his movement is beating me, but it's coming together. It's been a lot of fun. I am anybody that's like, anybody that plays this game seriously, it makes sense, dude. Like, it makes sense why other regions, like, when they go to like an international event or something, it makes sense why it's so much different. Why they say things like, oh, the laning gap, like at these tournaments and stuff. Because I'm not even playing in high elo yet, right? And it's already kind of a struggle, like the laning portion, right? And part of it is that, obviously, the spacing, but the other part of it is the ping. You just don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know.
No, because I used to play on 10 ping because the servers in NA moved, right? They used to be in California and they moved to Chicago. I'm in Cali, so I used to play on 10 ping. Now I play on 80 ping. So I know the difference. That's when I drop laning. When they move the servers, I completely move to jungle. Like, dude, I do not want to lane with 80 ping. I know you can do it, but it just doesn't feel good.
Well, the thing is, you would never be able to pull it off. Like, I hear about people like smurfing on high ping on NA. That's just because like NA players are shit. Like, that's basically what it is. And part of it's NA players are shit. Part of it is not many NA players actually do have low ping. You just said it. Most West Coasters do not have low ping. So anybody that's like objectively good at League is
60 to 80.
Even guys in like, Florida, whatever, they're not gonna have good ping, right? So like, the 9 ping gap, like, it's just different. People are responsive, and they all are, because I'm in the southern part of Korea, right? Like the very bottom at Chinhae, right? Which is like on the shore, right? I get 10 ping. The guys at the top of Korea, they get
1
ping. Yeah, 1 or less. I mean, obviously it's probably indiscernible at that point, right? But the point that I'm trying to make is that the entire server, they all have low ping. So you're not fooling them with anything.
There's actually a couple junglers that climbed to like top 10 on Korea with almost 200 ping.
Really?
Yeah.
Who was it?
You know SOFM?
Oh, yes.
SOFM?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, he played from like fucking Vietnam with like, I don't know, 120 plus ping, and he reached, he might have reached rank 1, I don't know.
No way.
Super, super impressive. But this was a while back.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I'm not kidding you.
When?
I'm not kidding you.
But when was it though?
It was a while back, but I mean, he's even better now.
Yeah, he's
before,
a really good jungler though. That would make sense.
Yeah.
And there's definitely a lot more. I would argue that if any role was the role to play on high ping, that would be it.
For sure.
Because you can't, you don't have to navigate to spacing in a lane over and over again. Honest to God, I don't think there's many champs that can be played in lane. I mean, I guess like what, Shen? Like you just pussy
even
out.
Shen sounds a little bit tough for your.
Yeah, but at least you're Shen. Like you can.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. Okay, what's Skarner top?
Right. At least you're like a tank or something, right? Like you're fucking functional outside of. But I don't know. It's been fun, dude. What you should do at some point is you should set like a YouTube goal. You should just come out for like a month. Park up at Seoul. Yeah, I would help you. I would straight help you get a Goshatel or something. I mean, hell, you could stay near fucking Chinhae. I would try to get you a place to stay or whatever. Fucking apartment. I don't know how much they cost. But the point is that like,
fun.
Yeah, dude, I don't know how else to frame it. Like, people just don't know until they experience it. It's just different. The early games are just they don't give you shit, dude. They won't give you anything. I do think that I do think that China is slightly worse in lane, but they're definitely more inclined to play the game out seriously.
Have you played in Super Server?
No, not in Super Server, but I played Ionia, which is like their big server.
I played on like, I don't think it was one of the big servers. It was just a few games on one of like the smaller Chinese servers, but I think those are super, super crappy. So
right, those probably are. Ionia is the biggest, right? It's their like main,
the original.
So I got to Diamond 2 on that before I swapped over to Korea, and the chat can kind of confirm it was like the games, they don't quit, like they don't give up. Like, you could be just squashing them. There was like very rarely people trolling. I honest to God thought it was like the best in terms of like people trying to win the game. It was way better than Korea. I don't know if that was just a small sample though, right? It could have. I only probably played like 100 something games on there. but it definitely felt like as soon as you went over to Korea, it was like, dude dies twice, he's dying 10 more times, and he's like griefing the entire game. Like, they'll do that. They'll do that here a lot. If you, and also I've had more players. If I do manage to squash them in lane, this game yesterday, it was a Fiora game, or day before yesterday, whatever it was. I killed a Singed in lane. He just quit. Like he just started griefing the entire game. Killed him one time, very close fight. You just lose the whole game for his team.
And you want me to come over to experience that?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I'm pretty sure I would have like the exact same feeling about it as Agurin. Like, I do not have a good time when I'm playing. He had such a fucking bad time on the server. He had no problem climbing. He got the challenger, like, no problem. But he was like, this is the worst fucking server. I regret coming over here. These guys are so bad. I'm pretty sure I would have like a very similar.
I think that they are bad. They are bad mentally. They are bad after like 15 minutes. They're bad.
Yeah, that shit pisses me off because I want to play the game, right? Like, if it goes well, great. If it doesn't go well, I get a little bit tilted, but like, I don't want to grief the game, and I don't like playing in games where people are griefing. It's just, it's very poker-esque. It's very poker-esque in the sense that, like, right now, like, I'm optimizing things out and like exploring like different builds, but like at this point, I'm totally cool with just like, I know that when I play a session that there's pretty good chances it's gonna be like 3 games today. That's probably going to be some guy who's like pissed, and he's just. To be fair, though, poker. You are experiencing it in preseason, right? So like anything is going to be amplified in terms of.
Right. That's why it's not like really. Yeah, that's why I'm not really worried about it. I acknowledge that no one knows the gank timings, for example, right? B, people just may not be trying at all. C, I don't even know if my playstyle is very good, right? Obviously, the Tryndamere stuff is good sometimes, but it's not like I told you the Zac thing. Like, there's just there's stuff they have planned. If you try to like gimmick through, like, oh, I'm just gonna play like Tryndamere here every time, no matter what. They're good enough. They'll take a matchup, they'll beat you with it. You won't do anything, right? Which is not always the case on.
3 weeks ago, just play jungle.
Yeah, I do like it. Well, I like leading too, though. I like being, you know me, man. I like coaching all the rules, and I like knowing the rules. Like, you see me playing Bard. Like, I don't even mind getting autofilled. I love this game, dude. What a fucking tilter. 51-minute game in Korea, bro. The most frustrating game. You should see this ending, dude. Before I let you go, look at this fucking game. I am up the enemy's team ass for the entire game. Look at it. This Jin, by the way, I hate this champ. He was my best teammate, to be honest. I mean, really. But I hate this champion. Look at this situation.
Oh my god, the kill count.
Oh yeah, you know what my favorite part of this is? Is that this classic scenario of, all right, we pushed up, boys. My team, watch.
Oh, and just trolls.
So they kind of troll a little bit. They have a Bard, who can leave at any time. They just, they don't want to do that, right? They just choose not to. But my favorite part of this whole VOD is coming up, okay?
I'm ready.
So here's the situation. We've got objective. We got this dragon coming. All right, here we go. Look at the map, Phil. This is the games that break people's soul. You understand? You spent the equivalent of 3 games in Korea playing 1 game.
Yes.
This is the soul crushing loss, dude. Look at the fucking minions. And this is what I mean. Like, these guys, if they really try, they'll mechanic their way through shit. Like, if they want to play. Because this blue team, I don't know how they managed to hold this off, but they do. So, like, watch.
I mean, does your team just throw it here instead of stalling?
Watch. Yo, we do stall. Yeah, we stall. We just delay, right? Oh yeah, it was a legit game. This is like the only legit game I think I've had here, like where it like goes deep and like people are really thinking. Now this LeBlanc gets, you're gonna see.
I feel
LeBlanc
like you
could
should
literally
be with her, no? Like you can be behind with her and you can just like port two people in
or what?
to their base. Because if they're all postured on the dragon, then you can just go in, no?
The problem that I saw with that was that I mean, yes, I could have maybe forced recalls. Maybe. Actually, you know what? That could be an interesting thing. The problem is moving through here.
Bard in this position, you're like Rise, right? Like if I'm Rise or Bard here, I don't want to be in front of the pit. I want to be around where LeBlanc is because you can go either way. Like if they start recalling towards base, then you just portal people back in.
I like that. I like the idea. I like the idea of that. But my counterpoint would be, I'm very, very scared of because the solos were kind of out of control, right? So I was very, very scared of what happens when like Aatrox just decides that he's just going to march at these guys and just wipe them on dragon, right? If somebody bases,
I mean, he has no flash.
you're gonna see the situation anyways. So before I could even deduce how to get over it, because getting there is a little tricky too, right? I have to go around them, right? Which is a little awkward. So I would have had to follow LeBlanc through lane or something, right? Which maybe I could have.
Yeah, because you were there in the first place, right?
Right.
You were
Yeah.
behind
I might have been able to.
Yeah.
I might have been able to come up with some sort of flank.
Because you can rejoin your team at any time with portal. Like you can portal.
In my brain, my logic was, I felt like just let this crash in, take the Elder, right, and then because it's 4v5, right, take the Elder and then just victory parade down mid. So here, like, I ult Shaco, push him off. LeBlanc rotates behind. And then she gets... I don't know what she's doing here. I don't know what...
Uh-oh. Jeez.
Yeah, it kind of kills this game. But the point is that, yes, I actually thought, in hindsight, I thought she was just going to go over the wall and just start fucking with the Aatrox, is what I was kind of hoping for. And that we were just going to kill here. Obviously, it didn't pan out that way. I go to zone. They decide that like they're gonna run at them for some reason, right? And
Bro,
then
I hate these super late game states where it's like, man, Elder's up, we should have like full vision control of their jungle, but nobody has slots for wards anymore.
Yeah, this actually is kind of part my fault too. They could have had some pinks added in here, but and then they get Elder and we just die, right?
Oh my god, Jhin has a fucking yellow trinket at 51 minutes.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
Bro, if he had a blue trinket just to stick behind there, oh my god.
Yeah, the whole game, like this game state, this was the other one. Baron's about to spawn in the minute. This LeBlanc was killing me, by the way, mentally, dude. Baron's about to spawn in the minute.
Oh my god.
It's insane, right? Like, she just...
Yo, how do you feel about Chemtech Soul, by the way? Like, I actually feel like this soul is so useless unless you have the right team comp for it, or the enemy has the right team comp for it. Like, I don't notice it. When there's like fighters that sustain, I feel like it's pretty nice, right? Like they live on low HP and then they're just fucking obnoxious.
Dude, it's so funny here.
Comps, I don't notice it.
Chat, he thinks I've seen soul drakes. he thinks he thinks I've seen souls in this game.
Bruh, that's what I'm asking you. I barely see them.
Bro, I barely see fucking... I swear to God, this is like the first game where I've ever seen dragons be taken. Like, more than like 2. I'm not even playing, man. The games are so fucking fast. It's so quick. Like, bruh, you could get 2-3 dragons maybe, and then...
The game's just over. Usually
it is, because I mean, this was the rarest game. This is 3 Korean games in one, and that made it. I was so pissed that I lost because I'm also autofilled. You have to understand. Anytime that I'm on Bard, that's my autofill game, and I like playing Bard, but it's so tilting when you get an autofill game. You play your heart out on the autofill roll, right, and then you lose like the 50-minute fucking sweat fest. You're like, oh my god, just
look at all that Heckrim. Nice.
Oh, I am running it. I'm running it.
Nice.
The new mid game change. I really like it a lot because I don't feel like I am just because of I'm telling you, because the games are so quick. I could get a few kills on Heckrim in the last patch, but if you're not on map, I don't know how else to explain it. If you weren't on map, it wasn't working. Like you had to be on the map. Now I know these games I have a lot of like kills. But like even a more like a slower game, like these games are a little bit slower, right? Like I'm allowed to be slow because I'm not gonna be gimped XP
arbitrarily
wise.
a level down. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Like I'm behind these guys, but like I'm the insurance policy. I can be an insurance policy, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I couldn't last patch. I couldn't just go, well, my team sucks, so I'm just going to farm and make a good choice. And then that's going to offset it. It's like, well, your team's behind. You better just go out on the map and int somewhere, because if you don't do that, you're never going to be able to just AFK it and win. Not on the last patch anyways.
Ahead on levels. Mm-hmm.
Right, because I saw people, I even saw other players try to do it. Right.
Yeah, like I will say to your viewers that when NEACE isn't speaking in black and whites here, like of course you can, but it's like a gray space, right? It's like the shade of gray shifted, the balance shifted.
Right.
It may just be like a level or two, just a level realistically, but
probably
when you're up one level at certain intervals, that's what you need to win the fight, and that can snowball into being 2 levels if you win versus lose that fight, right? So I agree with you. That 10% shift is actually pretty significant. It's bigger than I thought they would give.
10%, like, the mid game XP, the clears coming at a slower interval, right? So your bot lanes and your teammates have a little bit more time to plan for the gank. Also, the wave stage shift a little bit too, when they're getting closer to an XP bump. Does that make sense? So that's like another huge part about ganks that I don't think we ever talked about ever. Was like when you go to gank and your teammates haven't leveled up yet, or your opponents haven't leveled up yet. Does that make sense?
Or you haven't leveled up yet, yeah.
So it's like there's very fine lines in this game when you're talking about balance, where it's like if they move gank timings up even like 5 to 10 seconds, that could be, because that's kind of how it feels. It feels like everything's coming out like 5 to 10 seconds later with these changes.
Later?
On early game. The early game clear. Like not all the paths.
5 to 10 seconds later.
I'm saying all the paths being as dynamic as they were on the last patch when they changed the jungle pets, the damage, right? I don't know if 5 might be, or 10 might be too high, but the point is that the early gank seems like it's coming out a little slower now, and junglers are a little less healthy.
Oh, you mean on this patch? Like that just came out.
Right.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's not even close, actually. Because the thing is, the pet, like they nerfed the pet damage, but the pet sustain is tied to the damage. Right?
Oh,
so
because this was my Silas test when the patch came out. Watch this.
Silas got so much worse. Like Silas,
watch
Camille,
this.
Like the clear got so much worse this patch compared to last patch.
You'll see it. You'll see me try to pull it off. I mean, I honest to God think if I was better at Silas, I could have made this open work anyways. But yeah, you'll see. Because I didn't actually start that bad. Like the KDA looks terrible, but the open isn't even that bad. It's all fine. Like it was just
oh my god, a leashless start on Silas is so fucking painful.
yeah. I just went ahead and I basically hit them with the exact shit that everybody does to me, right? And like this was the last patch. This was a very similar open to last patch, right? You just hit people with some fucking cheese Silas shit. You go down. Now, look how low my health is.
Yeah,
look how slow this is.
I mean, like it's not like it was good last patch, but it's
better. It was better than
significantly
this.
worse now. Yeah, it's significantly worse now. Which I guess you're happy about because you don't like playing versus Flip Silas games.
I feel like they are. These guys were actually like mind readers too. They were like soul readers because they actually got into a meta game here a little bit in this match. You see this? They were like sniffing me out.
They didn't see where you started, right? You started leashless up there?
I think so. But either way, like...
Can I see on Raptors, like, if you rewind, can I see the lane states when you're on Raps? Did you see where Warwick started?
Yeah, I knew he started on this side. Same thing as before. I check.
Does Darius usually get prio into GP?
Or wait, did he not get a leash? He might not leash. Yeah, he might have not leashed. I might be wrong. I do look, usually. I usually look. Yeah, I didn't look at this one.
He didn't get a leash either.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't know where. Okay, so you're on Raps now.
Yeah.
Maybe my understanding top of shit. I thought GP pushes into Darius early. You just, like, cues him.
Oh, you were thinking about that as like an open? GP's kind of weak now.
Is he?
Yeah, I mean, early he is. I mean, his level 1 is famously pretty good, but like as GP, I'll tell you right now, as a guy who plays GP, I ain't helping this fucking guy. I ain't helping this fucking guy. Is that what you're thinking?
I was just curious because I saw him getting dove at level 3, so I was like,
I mean, there might have been, dude. It might have been worth doing. What do you think? Maybe go to golems after, and just.
No, not from this position. But I thought if they're like fucking 20 HP up there, then yeah, reversing like from raptors to golems up in the top would have been worth it. But not with that HP.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, there's not much he can do. Darius D shield. He's usually going to run a second wind. I mean, this is good that you're asking me these because you're basically quizzing me on whether or not I know the matchups, which is cool. But like, realistically,
not even knowing the matchups, just like looking when you're on Raps to see the HP.
Right, just in case. Yeah, you're right. I didn't look, and I think that was just a laziness on my part because I just know that he's never going to trade. I just know. Yeah. What's going to happen? I didn't look though. I am honest enough to tell you. I'm honest enough to tell you that I did not look at all, because I'm never going to. I'm never going to expect, I should say, for him to really get into much of a battle with Darius. It's going to be pretty break even like this, right? I don't understand. I mean, I guess there's nothing GP can do. GP's just too weak early now with first strike or whatever.
HP wise, to do like red Krug traps on Silas, because whenever I see a matchup like Syndra into Cat, it's like super nice to do a crossover gank on mid. Just like blow her flash so she can't play the game for the next 5 minutes.
Because
you know she's gonna push into the Cat.
I definitely thought about this as well, and this probably bites me in the ass by not fucking with it. I guess my hesitance was what we just talked about, where I didn't really know where Warwick was. And I just felt like I was basically battling for something that's a very high risk. But I guess it's okay because she has Ignite. It would have been okay to look at it and to fish around. I just felt like it was going to be super fucking contested often if I go for this. Because you said it yourself, he's going to have prio. He's going to have prio, and he's going to be a higher level than bot laners, right? When I do these types of opens, look at my health. This is my argument. I mean, you could tell me if I'm an idiot, right? This health, this level, my level lead is what I'm more like confident about going down here, as opposed to going up here and bumping into the counter gank up here.
No. I don't mean at this timer. Like I mean potentially starting a different route in the first place. That's also why I was asking. Like I don't know what Silas's red Krug's Raps clear is like in terms of HP and speed. But like for example, if you think that mid is going to be gankable, you maybe go red Krug's Raps instead of red Raps Gromp in the first place, right? If there's no rush to the bot lane.
Yeah. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I do that.
Yeah. Because it's just super nice in a matchup where it's like control mage versus like a melee, right? As soon as you just do a quick transition, blow their flash, like they can't play the game.
Yeah, that's fair. I probably should. I think I undervalued this, and maybe. Well, what about just literally just doing the 3 camp with a bleach down here? Like that wouldn't have been bad either. Just like
a blue Gromp. Maybe just because
blue Gromp wolves, and then literally just do fucking this route where I just hug the wall.
Like a transition into mid potentially, if it looks available, which it should be into Syndra into Cat because she has. Yeah,
she has TP, I think I actually looking back, like looking this over, I actually think that would have been a smarter way to play this because you all already know, like if I can get this guy ahead, at least it would be a real game, right? And it wouldn't be on all my shoulders. Because basically what I'm doing here is I'm saying this game's on my shoulders. I'm going to get a lead, and like I'm obviously I want bot to get ahead too because that's valuable, but I think it probably is more valuable to give the Katarina guy a lead in a solo queue environment. At least that's been my experience.
If you do like a Raps Gromp into bot, then typically what you're saying there is like I need to be bot right away, right? Like I have to be there on that timer, as opposed to
I definitely felt that way. I feel that way a lot on the server. I will tell you that. But it wasn't. It was definitely not. It was superseded by the fact that I wanted to just go bottom because I figured they would. In the same argument of these guys pushing, right, or Syndra pushing, I figured that Caitlyn and Heimerdinger will always push. The lane is longer, right? This was my rationale at the time. It's like this lane is longer, so good chance that if I come down here, this will not be warded because they're going to be in lane. Because Caitlyn doesn't want to move off a lane ever. Heimerdinger doesn't want to move off a lane ever. They want to just like fuck with you when you go to farm, right? Was my whole argument. But yeah, I think in looking at this again,
Soraka Ezreal, right? So like if you go down, it's really, really contingent on you getting like just the perfect ping onto them.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's like a rush to get down there.
It's all me.
Keep pushing. So you could go like Red Krug's wraps, transition gank through mid, then you blow this into splash, then you generate some mid prio for yourself, right? Like, and then you're still transitioning down into the bot side and preventing them from pushing and like harassing your guys under turret.
Look how tragic this gank is. It's like there's no follow-up here.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean,
I even read the flash.
Right?
Like, it's so fucking lame, right? Like, I even read that fucking flash.
That's what I mean, right? Like, you're pathing down into the Soraka Ezreal. They're not gonna have like set up follow-up. Right. So I don't see like a huge rush down there unless you think they're getting like fucking level 3 dove.
This was a misplay, by the way. This is why I said if I'm better at Sylas, I could have won this whole game. This little decision to like peek back down. Watch. So stupid. I thought I could clear the wall here with the E.
Oh, okay. I just saw the miss. Yeah, instead of just walking behind.
Yeah, I just walked behind. They're both dead. That's what I mean. I think if I was just better at Sylas or more warm on him, right?
Yeah,
I would have just walked it in. Yeah, but that's why I said like this game looks really bad KDA wise, but like it probably is my game. I probably could, if I was better at that pick, probably could make it work because I got the kill. I had 2 more kills coming. Right? If I get those 2 kills, then it's basically if Sylas. I find that if Sylas gets a couple kills on Korea server, you're just gonna have a field day, and that's why I was like, I'm just practicing for a bit. But cool, fun chat with you though, man.
Yeah, I wonder what his win rate is now after the changes.
Probably not a lot.
Has
probably
to feel like so much worse.
Right? Probably not enough data yet, but I mean, he's very contested on Korea. Like incredibly contested. His win rate in jungle is bad, but his ban rate is it's almost 52%.
Actually, it's not even that bad. It's like almost 49% even post patch.
That's what I'm saying. Like I want to look at my screen. Let's talk real quick about data too, because this is like a good little point. So I used to put a big value on these types of metrics, right? And in saying things like, well, it's like C+ tier or whatever. But clearly there's more to it than that. Because like he is in so many games. Oh, I guess he's not played top these days as much. He's in so many games and he's contested. And basically what I'm wondering is, what do you think about a data point or a data set like this, where it says like 49% win rate, 22% pick rate? Like, would you still consider that broken? I think he's broken as fuck, personally. I don't know if he's broken as fucking jungle now after just seeing that game and thinking about it, but maybe, maybe he's still fine.
I mean, he's probably still fine. It's just that you went leashless, right? On a champ that really suffers without a leash, especially on the current patch. Like, I don't see 49% go like, oh, that's broken. But I don't see 49% and go, oh, that means the champ is weak. Got it. The champ can be super fucking strong with a low win rate. Like, I think Hecarim right now has like, what, a 48, 49%? And he had the same thing last patch. Even though he's fucking crazy, it's just because there's a bunch of new players trying Hecarim because they see everyone running around with like Hydra Hecarim one-shotting everyone. So, of course, the win rate gets pulled down. So even though the win rate on Hecarim overall was lowish, like I if you check it, I think it was only 49% last patch. I straight up think that guy was so fucking disgustingly strong.
Yeah, he's
even now, like he is not a 48% win rate strength champion.
Yeah, he is an interesting one, and I mean, I'm giving these guys credit though too. The reason that he's not going to look as strong is because the tempo of the server plays faster, and it's very hard to play.
Global. You can turn this to global. It's the same thing.
Oh, really?
No, if you turn it to global, it's the same story. He has a low win rate.
Huh?
It's not just Korea.
Huh? I wonder why that is.
He just has a bad win rate, and I think that it's literally just people who don't play the champion see Hecarim running around and getting pentakills, so they're trying the champ and they're sucking at him, right? So the win rate gets pulled down a little bit. But I don't think anybody thinks Hecarim is weak on this patch or weak on the prior patch. He's fucking insane. I
haven't even been trying this build still.
The Hydra
people are still running this on him.
It's situational. The thing with rushing Hydra is you're really, really squishy early. So if you like dueling and you like skirmishing early, it's not that great. It's more for like you play hit and run style where you just farm a lot, you pick easy fights, and you snowball off of that. Because the thing with Hydra, it has no HP on it. You're way, way, way squishier than if you rush something like Sunderer. Like
that's what I've been rushing.
Hydra builds.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing is, but the thing is, it has shotgun damage, right? So when you're playing a champ like Hecarim that has a spammable Q, it amps your damage to like fucking mind-boggling amounts if you're hitting people in an AoE. If you have like two targets next to each other, having just the Hydra will cause you to do more damage than if you have like 2.5 items normally, just from a normal Q, because of the shotgun splash damage, which is just disgusting.
So that's what we're calling it now, shotgun Hecarim.
I guess you could call it. It's like any champion with. I don't know why it works like that. I don't think it should work like that. You know what I mean, right? Like if you have a target there. I do. Yeah. It does so much damage. It's just so disgusting. But I don't rush this every game either because it is very high risk, high reward.
I definitely have not been playing this stuff. I have seen. It's funny because Tryndamere, I had a whole play style built around Jock Show already, and it's very similar. It's literally just you rush Ravenous, you go Bork or Jock Show, and you just swap it out for the third item, like which because it's just so strong. Like this synergy is too strong.
There's so many champs that like Nocturne mid, etc. Graves mid can go Hydra first.
Yeah, I
just stonewall the fucking lane.
I think it's I can't decide yet if it's healthy for the game or not, but all I do know is that if you go those two items plus a Bork, you're probably wrong. If your champion can go these two items, you're probably happy.
Dude, there is no way it's healthy for the game. No shot it's healthy that like 6 different, probably more than that, just like a bunch of mid laners, you just slam Hydra first item and you don't interact with anyone. No one can interact with you because you just go one shot the wave. Like your tempo onto the map is so fucking crazy. It's the same reason they nerfed Tiamat, right? Like old Tiamat had the active and the passive, where it hit in an AoE, but it had the Iron Spike whip proc on it as well. And that was so problematic because people would just slam Nocturne Talon mid, one shot the wave, go roam, and you can't fucking do anything.
Unless you build it yourself.
So stronger than jungle right now. Yeah, unless you do it yourself. Like Nocturne mid is so strong compared to Nocturne jungle right now because the free time you have is just disgusting. You walk mid, you Q auto, the whole wave is cleared. You have 25 seconds to run around the map, do whatever the fuck you want. Right? And the enemy mid is just pinned trying to clear the fucking wave. When you play Nocturne jungle, like 80% of your time you're stuck running around clearing the camps.
Right. Yeah, Nocturne mid was one that I ran a little bit, but I wasn't having great success. I think that was just a laning issue though. I think if I ran that back again, I think my laning's cleaned up a bit. Just bumping into like stupid lethal moments and like again though, it does boil down to what matchups do you get? Because until you get Ravenous, you're dealt with like, a Syndra or some like Zed who, a Zed who knows what he's doing, right? It's like it's just a different beast. Because like on other servers, it'd be like, oh, I play Nocturne and there's a Zed. I don't give a shit about him. He sucks, right? Here, it's like, yeah, that Zed is usually easy. It's usually an easy Zed. But now he actually knows how to not get feared. Ooh, imagine. He knows how to like hit and run. Like it's so simple, but it's just what it is. Like it's not as brain off, right? As it
would be in a different region. Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, this was fun chatting with you, man. Want to do this again sometime? We'll look at some of my goofy bots.
Yeah, for sure. We can take a look at some jungle VODs and I'll coach you next time, something like that. Or we can just wait on next patch if things change again.
Yeah, I can't. Well, I think they land. Well, let's close with that. What do you think about this patch? Personally, I think it's a good patch. I think the jungle's in a pretty cool spot. I mean, you saw some of the stuff from the Nidalee game. Like, it seems very dynamic. Obviously, that game doesn't have much ramifications on the patch itself, but I just meant in general, like, there's definitely a space for full clear junglers. There's a space for shit like Sylas. There's a space for shit like, Elise and Nidalee. It feels like they're all represented and they all have their strengths, right? Like, and they all have dynamic pathing, but I don't know if you feel the same way.
I feel like the overarching, like, the elements that go into creating the meta or shifting the meta are positive. Like I like the direction of the changes in season 13 in general. The only thing is I think that what I don't like about the current patch is just some of the items are not balanced. So a lot of the like current champs that are strong and the current meta is just decided by what items are strong and what champions can use those items well, right? I really, really don't like that. if you look at Jack Show, I think Jack Show's a great fucking item. I really like the design of the item, but the majority of champs that build it are just bruisers. They rush Hydra into Jack Show, or they rush Demonic Embrace into Jack Show. It's so weird. Why are the strongest champions building the signature tank item? It gives just tank stats, bruisers that rush damage items into the Jack Show. I don't think that balance state makes sense. I don't think that champions should be able to just rush Hydra and just like instantly one-shot a wave and run onto the map
and not interact.
I don't think that the thing should be there. Yeah, so I think that once they fix the items up, I really, really like the direction of the season itself, right? The overarching changes made to the jungle in terms of pathing, etc. They're all moving in a very positive direction to me.
I would counter with this, and this is something for you to think about in your assessment. When you are playing certain champions, like the example you're saying is like, oh, he can one-shot the wave or whatever. Mm-hmm. In the tempo, the current like state of the game right now, the tempo when the game is played right or close to right, at least in terms of laning, right? You don't get to that item for a while. Like, you don't get to Ravenous very quickly, right? Like, you have to earn that item. That item takes a long time. Mm-hmm. That's probably on average
300, 3,400, I think.
Yeah, that's probably
around the same as the mythic. If you were rushing a mythic,
that's like a 12. That's like a 12-minute item, assuming that you get perfect farm. Right? You have to get like perfect farm, or you have to get a kill, or you have to get something going for yourself before you get that item. Mm-hmm. Right? The reason I bring this up is because, like, my example, like if I play Tryndamere into Victor or something on this server, I'm not getting that item very easily. Like, I'm telling you right now, unless I go fleet and like Doran Shield, like, I'm not getting that item. I've already tried to get that item just playing standard, like Doran Shield without fleet. I don't get that item, Phil. Like, I'm not allowed.
To be completely fair, though, it's not like you would get any other item faster, because if you're not rushing
I guess what I'm saying is like this is something for somebody who's like dealing with a shit lane to almost look forward to. I agree that it's broken. Mm-hmm. I agree that it's like stupid that everybody's building it all the time. But I do think that there should be something for people that are able to fucking get to that point where they are actually able to fucking farm again. If they earned it. Does that make sense? It's like...
that's what I mean by... like, certain champions synergize with it too well. Because, like, sure, if you take a look at Tryndamere or Nocturne, they might struggle in some matchups to reach. But what about Graves? Right?
Oh, yeah,
like,
no, that's fair. Yeah, no, that's true. That's actually really
and
good.
Then he gets he's being chilling. It's like, what the fuck, dude? What do I
Yeah,
do?
you that's a pretty good point. Because, like, when I go into mid, it's funny you brought up Nocturne and Tryndamere. If I try to play Nocturne and Tryndamere, I agree with you. If I get Ravenous Hydra on time, yeah, I'm great. I'm chilling. However, when I play here, I don't get that item on time, at least in every matchup. Now, sometimes I'll, like I said, matchups that are good for me, I can get a kill or something or whatever and rush that item. And yeah, that sucks for them. But like, I also did kind of earn it. Same with the range matchup. If the range laner sucks so much dick that they let you get to Ravenous and then he beats you to a power spike somehow. I have no idea how, because Victor mid, as an example, is running first strike and he's farming you like a pinata the entire lane while he hits perfect farm. Like, you're never gonna, even if you get Ravenous, he's gonna harass you the whole time, right? Like, he's never even gonna let you touch the wave. Even if you have Ravenous, you can't touch the fucking wave because he's gonna poke the shit out of you, take your whole health bar because he already hit his item spike. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. It's like it's an interesting dynamic that they've ran into, because I think we agree it shouldn't be on every champion, and they did nerf it for ranged, by the way. I don't know if it's big enough yet.
Yeah, they nerfed it for both. Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if it's nerfed enough yet.
I think it's not nerfed enough to break its abuse cases, because I think the design of the item, at least personally, is not good. I think once they fix the shotgunning on the item, then we can talk. As long as that's there's going to be some really, really obnoxious use cases.
Yeah, this is where it's like the balance for the different tiers comes into play, because you've got like lower end, higher end, and like pro tier. Like, right now, I would say that if you're in low elo, you could pretty much just get Ravenous unchecked on just about any lane, and that's probably not good for the game.
That's very true too. Yeah, that's very true as well. If
But
you're
if
talking about lower brackets.
I can't really argue that like it's good for the game at all when people don't know what they're doing, because it's just so brain dead. But when people actually like challenge you on minions and like don't let you have them for free, and you're sitting here like, hold on, let me get to Ravenous. It's like, no, buddy, like you're not gonna get there. Like by the time you get to Ravenous, these guys are gonna take, you know, they're gonna take 2 plates from you. They're gonna invade your jungle. Right? Like there's going to be so many reasons why you're not allowed to actually, and by the time you even realize that fantasy, it doesn't matter. Even the mage is going to fucking match you and kill you. Right?
That's the thing, right? That's not even relevant to the item, because no matter what first item you're building, it's going to be around that cost point if you're rushing a mythic instead, right? So that's completely irrelevant to the item. That's more so just like if you're in a really, really tough matchup for your champion, or you just don't play the matchup well, something like that. So I think that's not relevant to Hydra's strength. I think that would be more relevant if
well,
Hydra
it gives you wave. What I was saying was it gives you wave clear though. Like it gives it. I like the option of like a real wave clear item, I guess is what I'm trying to say, for like melees. Because
I do like it. I think it's just too much.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing like last year. I remember like any of the like proxy stuff was very gated. Like you couldn't ever do any sort of like farming strategy where like I'm gonna just take resources. It was very close-minded itemization. It was like, you know, Garen can proxy, like Singe can proxy, Tryndamere not so much because it takes you like a decade to clear waves. Like why the fuck does Tryndamere take forever to clear waves? Does that make sense? Like there's certain champions that should be allowed to like clear a fucking wave, dude. Like why do I have to sit there with my giga strong Chad champion and like smack minions for half an hour when I've like earned the right? Like I earned the right to like fucking clear my wave. Like go fuck yourself. Like if I take Victor right now and I hit perfect farm, I go and shove the fucking wave, and then the lane opponent tries to farm, and he has Ravenous. He still can't farm for free, I guess is what I'm trying to say. He has to wait for that wave to hit the tower, right? And then he has to, like, make sure that he's not getting fucked with as he farms, because even just hitting those minions still is risky. It's not like a free... So I don't know. They need to have... I like a wave clear item. They need to have some way for bruisers to fucking get rid of minions without like risking their life or being stuck there for like half an eternity to like clear, I guess.
Yeah, and credit to Riot. I don't think it's an easy item to balance.
No.
It's like, it was last season. It did clear waves, but nobody built it. It was a fucking garbage tier item, and all of a sudden it's like S tier. So it's not an easy...
Obviously, there's a line, right? There's some line, and it's right... If you nerf it too much, it becomes almost irrelevant again.
Shit. Yeah.
Right. No, that's actually probably the problem with it. It probably is just like, shit, if I tweak this number too far, then no one builds it. But if it's just good enough to where bruisers build it, well, now it just like fucks up like all like average tier of play. That's what it is.
I think
average
that
tier
the
of play.
current change for this patch 12.2, I don't think it's like in the right direction, but I don't mind them going like kind of incremental and trying, because it is preseason, right? So like whatever, this is their time to make these changes and experiments.
Yeah. All right. In your honor, I'm gonna go and play Hecarim for a game.
Nice.
In your honor, I'm not gonna build Ravenous though, probably because
it's okay. I don't rush it every game either.
Yeah, it seems kind of sus. All right, dude, thanks for hanging out. And also, guys, if you haven't booked Phylara's coaching, there's a reason that he's on my site. There's a reason that I bring him on here all the time. Please, if you are a jungler, this is a guy that I bounce a lot of ideas off of for a reason. So go to NEACE.gg and book, please. He's very, very good at his job. He's someone who's been recommended by pros. He's worked with pros. He also, maybe one day he'll bring back a spreadsheet. I don't know if he's ever going to do that.
Oh yeah. It's just I'm waiting for the fucking.
You are gonna bring it back? I thought you were like you were going through it at like a few months ago. You're like, well, I don't know about this fucking spreadsheet. Shit sucks. They're breaking the game.
No. It's 'cause I thought they were like completely killing fucking kiting, but they kind of brought it back. It's like here now. It's just they keep tuning the pet damage, so there's no point in doing a spreadsheet yet because it'll change next patch.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah. As soon as season 13 starts launching, I'll bring it back. But yeah,
all right, buddy.
Good.
Thanks for the support, man. I will talk to you again soon. Peace.
See you, bro.
Wait. What'd you guys think? Fun talk? I thought it was good talk.